welcome to the Township of Sparta Environmental Commission meeting for Thursday, December 12th, 2024. The meeting is called to order at 7:01. We are live in the council chambers at the municipal building, as well as live streaming at www.youtube.com/@SpartaTWP/streams. Adequate notice of this meeting was provided to the public and the press on January 5th, 2024, by delivering to the press and posting on the township website a copy of the notice. Michelle, can I ask you to do roll call, please?
Councilman Daniel Chiarello. Chairwoman Kimberly Knoll.
Here.
Vice Chair Neil Sauerwine.
Here.
Christine Dunbar.
Here.
Ted Gall. Christine Rogers.
Here.
Linda Tower. Barbara Kozlaka.
Here.
Landon Tanieri. Robert Otto.
Here.
And John Grove.
Here.
Please join me in saluting the flag. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay. We have no minutes for approval. There was one correspondence item regarding fresh water. It's a freshwater permit applicable for the flood hazard area. It's an individual permit, and it has to do with a small island property out in the middle of Lake Mohawk, right?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
The North Shore.
The North Shore, okay. Yeah, my understanding is they're decreasing the amount of the buffer zone.
You have that up there if you'd like.
Yeah, I couldn't read anything on that.
Yeah, do we want to go look? I know it was very
Yeah.
small in that little piece of paper.
I couldn't read it.
I know, I couldn't really tell on the little tiny. Oh, this little bit here? Oh,
Proposed seawall?
module block wall, module block wall. Proposed conditions.
I don't know if that's contour.
Actually, it's not changing the impervious coverage.
Bring and build.
Mm. Does it have to go through there too?
Any plan.
That's the only thing that's different, yeah. And it has no, what do you call it? Yeah, and there's no, key.
Proposed limit of temporary riparian zone disturbance.
Temporary.
Oh, so this is the only space where they're gonna disturb on this side.
On this
Oh,
side,
look,
this-
so look at what they're doing. They're doing a whole thing around the whole thing.
they're gonna be replacing the wall, right? So
And
they're,
this is their
the
disturbance buffer.
disturbance, yeah.
That's what they're doing.
But then, so between.
So they
these two-
are,
Mhm.
yeah, so what they're doing is they're replacing this wall here,
I mean,
all around
this
the
is-
whole
this is the
island.
encroachment.
Yeah, and
No
so what they
box.
do is they come out, they, have you seen them do this for docks? Yeah. And then they block that all off, refix the wall or whatever is behind there.
You said?
Who?
So Beta lots is LLCC.
I don't think we've seen anything from them yet.
So this area, this is the property line, has to be. But from here onward is the lake,
Right,
LLCC.
yep. Yep. And there's nothing else in here about that. Yeah, that must be what they're doing, repairing the wall. Oh, here's actual pictures.
I think they're the same maps.
I think they are, yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, see, that wall is falling apart. Yeah, we don't know what they're using. That's a good question. What are they replacing it with?
So they're putting the copper down here, dewatering it, I would imagine.
And then fixing the wall. Yeah,
What do they use for the copper dams?
So they corrugated sheet
yeah.
all around. And then they pump the water out. here. And then they can go let this dry and then they can work in here.
Yeah, so construction narrative, no raw concrete will be placed into the open water areas. A coffer dam will be installed to dewater the area during construction. The proposed wall will replace existing wall in the same location. The previously authorized bulkhead has not been and will not be put to any use other than the than specified in any permit authorizing its original construction. There's no proposed activities to expand, widen, or deepen the previously authorized bulkhead, and it will not deviate from any plans of the original activity.
So they're just doing this to prevent more erosion? Why
Well,
are they doing that? It's the.
Because it's falling apart, it
Yeah,
looks like.
It's maintenance.
And it was with the drought conditions, it was an opportunity that some shoreline owners took, where they periodically, they have to maintain their seawall. They like to. So some of them have riprap, some of them have solid concrete seawall. So when we were going to lower the water, sanatories by the Wallkill,
Mm.
there was an opportunity there that people would kind of schedule repairs. Then that didn't happen, but the drought conditions have already made the level that were required. So people did work, I suspect this was plans a year ago, and now they're just doing concrete.
So will they go ahead with it? Because in the spring, the water level is
Doesn't-
conceivably going to raise, but they'll have their plans in place. How long would this be good for, or would they go ahead with it?
Well, the copper dam is just matter. They drive sheet to, well, not to, they just drive it in here, pump the water, and the pump keeps up with the water in the building. So they can get in there and they can.
Okay, so it doesn't matter with the water level.
Doesn't matter if it's us. I mean, my thing is an LMCC member and then, I don't know, it's just, this zone of disturbance. And it's not small. It looks small, but that area of extent is pretty big. You have all of the flora and fauna around here. It's an opportunity to do kind of an inventory. What's in there. Kind of cool, but in winter, I don't know.
You're talking about freshwater organisms, correct?
Yeah.
That attach to things like mussels and
Whoa.
fish, and the fish also, and Brocchidia, and everything that's in the water around there will be disturbed.
Everything in this zone.
Yeah, that's what they're doing.
Open opportunity.
I think they're just replacing it with, I haven't seen anything that says what they're replacing it with. I think it's concrete now, and they're gonna replace it with concrete. That's what it looks like.
They have to get, permission by the NJDEP for this also.
Yeah, they're putting in some footings.
It probably wasn't, I was looking at images from the thirties. Precursor.
Oh, boy, that'd be interesting.
The footers that they're putting in are made of steel. And then they're putting concrete on that. They're putting in a wedge-shaped, what do you call it? Concrete, piece of concrete.
Are they using the preferred materials? Or are they using, or if there's a choice?
I mean,
I didn't see.
one of the things that we've asked before when we've seen these
Mhm.
is, particularly on the slopes, I don't know if it would matter so much on this piece of property, but is to install, while you're doing this, put a layer of gravel, it's not coming to me, so that the water that's coming off the properties can filter through the gravel and try to remove some of those, chemicals and stuff,
Fertilizers.
fertilizer and stuff, before it gets into the water. So that's a suggestion we've made in the past. I think it's more than just gravel. It's like a filtration system on the edges.
Yes, I said they,
Yeah.
they probably.
No, I'm not talking about during construction. I'm talking
After,
about
yeah.
after. Yeah, one of the things we've suggested is that rather than just leaving grass all the way up to the edge, leave a buffer zone to have water that's coming off of your property.
So shoreline.
Yeah, shoreline buffer.
I think we should recommend that. Not
We
that
can.
they
We've
have
done that
to,
in the
but
past.
But that's something that's
Huh?
really important.
You recommend it, but
Well, we're an advisory board and the planning board can, if they
does it
want to,
indicate?
they want to have a
Just one little
larger
house there.
discussion.
Oh, one huge house.
It's a big house.
Is it?
Is it? Yeah.
So that is one thing we can do. I did not run it's this property here. I did not run what's that thing called? That report that we get to see what else
ERI.
is happening. Yeah, ERI, I didn't run an ERI on this one. But we could also do that and then share that with them. They could run one for themselves also, but we could run one and
Yeah.
see what it says.
Have you ever read, we actually have a shoreline book.
Oh, yeah, that'd be great. I'd love to see that. Okay, so we'll recommend a buffer yeah, a little bit of a buffer, and we can also share their ERI with them too.
Yeah, there's low shrubs, that they could plant.
Yeah.
That you want before.
Right, and
They
it
may
doesn't,
want the privacy also.
yeah, and it doesn't have to be all the way around, but if you do a good portion of it,
The roots spread out, and they actually remove the pollutants.
yep. And it also helps keep the shoreline stable
So
rather
if
than grass.
we're gonna recommend this, because it's totally optional. Is it worth, rather than just saying, oh, we'd like you to put a shoreline buffer for all of it, they're not gonna wanna do it where the docks are. We could identify like the impervious sections of paper log. Maybe this deck, pool, pool, even though it doesn't count as impervious. Yeah. You can overfill a pool.
Yeah,
So, I mean, I would kind of look at, this would be an area that I would want to see it
yeah,
basically like this. We could say here. I
Yep.
think. Although this is gentler slope.
yeah.
And then this is all paved.
Yeah,
So
it would be
actually,
important, because if they're putting
Yeah.
salts on their driveway, then
It's going
it's really
through there.
important
So
to
maybe
also have it
consider-
along
yeah,
there too.
so maybe like a high buffer here and then a lower one.
Yeah, we can suggest that.
Just give them
That's a great idea to emphasize
some
that.
ideas.
And if
Yep.
you have their number, I can call them and ask them if they want to join the salt watch.
Sure.
And they could test their water right there.
They're right there.
The hamstring their property.
I tested everything on my property. All right, great. Good suggestions. I gotta go write them down before they leave my head. Okay. All right. Next item, we had no applications to review. Primarily, we had done a bunch. Last meeting, I think we did two, and the meeting before we'd done one, so pretty much caught up on that. Opening it up to public comment, but no one is here. So reports, Dan is not here tonight, so who would like to go first, Christine or?
Well, actually, we spent a lot of our time in executive session. And, well, a lot of us were there, of course. The applicant, that's kind of at the corner of 517 and Sparta Avenue, they postponed their application. That's where the Sparta Pharmacy is. Okay, so,
Okay.
so we didn't hear from them, and a lot of our discussion, of course, because we're in round 4 of affordable housing, we're talking about that. And I didn't give a report because it was Thanksgiving, so I didn't share that report. And there was a good turnout there, of course, we saw. There was quite a good turnout there. And quite a bit of discussion about a component called the Rossi. Was initiated, we talked about that a little bit. We really haven't laid out any type of dialogue regarding that, however, I mean, unless the town council is talking about that. But that was, of course, to my surprise, brought up,
Yeah, so
And-
it was removed from the open space plan in the final
everything.
version.
It was
as per the
removed for
request. Yes.
everything, but it was done so without any dialogue on our part. And I think that it would have been helpful for us to have dialogue regarding that, even though we do not make the decision about that, which was made clear at the meeting.
Yeah.
So those are my thoughts about that. And yeah, and so it's great that we have the actual final one that's going to be draft that's going to be posted, so we can have a actual public hearing when people have had an opportunity to review the open space plan. And when is that meeting? I was unclear.
January 15th.
The 15th of January. Wonderful. Thank you.
All right, Neil?
The master plan subcommittee met on 12/5. We mostly went over the results of the survey, which we were happy to have, when we closed it out on our scheduled time, and we had 1,006 responses, which was pretty happy with. We're meeting again on the 19th.
So is that like, it's close to 10% of, right? Am I doing the math right?
Yeah.
So that's pretty good, right? There's 19,000 plus people.
Yeah.
So 1,000 is, I don't know, 10%.
Percent, 5.
5%. Yeah.
What'd you say?
It's 5%.
Thank you. All right, I don't
good.
math very well.
And we
All
also
right.
went over the stakeholder list. We're going to be meeting with different groups of stakeholders
Great.
and focus groups.
All right, and Landon's not here either, and he is now giving us a trail committee report. But we'll have to get that from him in January.
The next trail meeting is scheduled for January 13th.
Okay.
That's Monday. And I believe we decided that we would meet at the library since it's sometimes difficult to schedule space
Oh.
here. So we're going to try the library again in the conference room number 1 on the main floor.
Okay,
I think it's 7 o'clock.
great. All right, open space planning update. So as Chris shared, we did have another hearing with the planning board, and there were several updates that were requested to the open space and recreation plan. Number 1 was removal of the Rossi language. It's not key. It's not necessarily part of the open space and recreation plan. It was basically one of the recommendations that if we accept the funds for from the Jake's Law playground, the accessible playground up at Station Park, then we will be required to do a Rossi. That's basically what the plan said and recommended that we do. But we don't know that we're accepting the funds at this point, and so the request was to remove the Rossi language. So the final version does do that. And the second thing that is a major change is there was a proposed trail around Morris Lake, and Morris Lake is Newton's water source, and Newton was opposed to that trail proposal, and so that was also removed. And so the final version has had, we've been through a lot of versions. We've been through at least probably 10. So at this point, any other changes that we want to make, they will need to charge us additional dollars. But I think it's good. I think everybody's had more than ample opportunity to view it. And if we get this final version out to the public, hopefully tomorrow, you said that all the IT folks weren't in today, then they can have an opportunity to look at it too.
Great.
So any questions on the next steps? So it's the next meeting that the planning board is having on the open space plan is January 15th. And hopefully they will be adopting it at that point.
We'll see.
All right, green team appointment. So as part of the Sustainable New Jersey application for this year, I don't know if it's a changed requirement or what, but we do need to have a resolution appointing the green team. And the second change that I noticed is that the green team should include the members of the environmental, well, it can include the members of the environmental commission. When we had sent out the email to request to folks who were interested in being on the green team still, we got 2 replies of folks who said they were interested. So if everybody's in agreement, I think we absolutely should put us on there too, or else the green team's going to be 2 people. And I don't know if they'll be able to really achieve too much that way. So,
Do we have other members of the green team, like Jim Zepp? Is he on the green team?
He's not on there
He-
right now.
He had been in the past.
Oh, he
they-
did?
Yeah, that's one of the things that they mentioned is that, you
Hmm.
know,
We
the
can certainly invite him, see if
Township
he's interested.
officials. Yeah.
Do we want to open it up to anybody else? Like, who's the new DPW person? I don't know their name.
Joe Strawway. I'm gonna tell you right now, that's not gonna happen. He's not.
He won't join the Green Thumb?
No, but,
Okay.
I can do an employee.
See if anybody's interested.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you wanna reach out to LMCC? Or
From
LMPA?
their committee or,
I can just filter stuff.
okay,
offline,
yeah, we can.
back and forth.
Okay, so I think, who said they were gonna look for the resolution? Was that you, Neil?
Yes.
See what they okay, so Neil looked for the resolution and I'll put together the list of folks. All right. Sustainable New Jersey certification. Neil, I have you on that one.
We pretty much, we just went over, we met tonight, prior to the meeting and, went through some of the actions that we should be able to get, that we can recertify for the ones we already had that are expiring, and we talked about new actions that we are gonna try to pursue.
Great, thank you. And the deadline, there's a February, April, and March deadline that will try to start the submission process as early as possible so that they can weigh in, and we're not in a scramble at the end. Yep, okay,
Yes.
sounds good. Presentation schedule?
So I talked to our next speaker for our quarterly speaker series. It's going to be Jenna Black, who's the AmeriCorps New Jersey Watershed Ambassador, who came to our meeting a couple of weeks ago. She's going to be presenting about lead and risk to drinking water after some training she went to with the EPA. And she was interested in potentially coming on February 13th. Does that work for everyone? Is that all right?
Yeah.
All right. So I'm going to have her develop a flyer that we could get posted on the website, and we'll do the same thing like last time to try to get
Great.
audience attendance from local residents. And then I guess before I turn it over, I just want to circle back to, as a follow-up to our last presentation about recycling, there was some discussion about like the soft plastic recycling I was talking about last time. So I went and I got the official printout of what counts so I can say what materials will be recycled. And then I think we should be able, if we can get this posted potentially on our page of the website. I also have the directions of how people can upload their information to Kara Johnson at Sparta Middle School. Because if you remember from last meeting, their Earth Club, they're getting involved with this program, and if we collect 1,000 pounds of soft plastic as a town, then they get a free bench for the middle school. So it's things like grocery bags, bread bags, bubble wrap, dry cleaning bags, newspaper sleeves, ice bags, plastic shipping envelopes, Ziploc and other reclosable food storage bags, the inner linings of cereal boxes, that the cereal bags,
I didn't know that.
the case overwrap over water bottles or toilet paper or paper towels, salt bags, pallet wrap or stretch film, wood pallet bags, and then produce bags. So I brought a couple examples.
Good.
Just so everyone sees, but it's like, there's a cereal bag, right? And then like these like vegetable bags, like
Yeah.
carrots are in, or lettuce. These kind of bags, like for ravioli or that kind of stuff. So it's anything, but it's even like these kind of shipping bags that we get in the mail.
All right.
So all you have to do,
Nothing with like that inside is like shiny metal.
right, nothing shiny, and you can even do like bubble wrap
Yeah.
that comes in shipping stuff. So what you would do is just package it up. You would weigh the plastic, you take a photo, and then you email the photo and the weight to Kara Johnson at kara.johnson@sparta.org, who works at the middle school. And then you just can bring it to either Ocean State Job Lot, Stop and Shop in Sparta, or Kohl's in Newton. But we'll have this information posted on the website. I have it all today that I could send out so that we could get it uploaded.
You have to cut the labels off the shipping bags though, right?
I think so, yeah.
Paper labels, yeah, I
Yeah.
always do that.
Oh, okay. I've started collecting.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, I have a
When you
big,
start looking for it, it is on a lot of things.
Yeah.
Everywhere.
It's
I
everywhere.
See it, yeah.
Okay, so
Not doing it quite right, so I gotta.
Is
gotta
it true
do
that,
things.
I looked into it too, because now I have a garage full of potential soft plastic from Hardy Plank siding, because we re-sided our house. And they have protective plastic film that's clear or frosted.
Yeah.
And I read something, it was like the test, the general test is just if you can squeeze it with your hand and scrunch it up, then it should count, other than
yeah,
if it's got mylar, metal, and paper labels have to be removed. Okay.
Nice, thanks for the update.
awesome.
Okay. Oh, is there any ideas about the third speaker yet?
no, I was thinking
Maybe.
potentially we could do maybe something about native plants because it's going to be right around Earth Day.
Spring? Yep.
Hmm.
Great. Christine Dunbar, Salt Watch.
Yes, I'd like to share with you a flyer that I had made that we could potentially tweak and then post on our environmental website to encourage members of our community to take part in the Salt Watch. So I'll just pass this around, and I, just looking at it, what Neil had mentioned, that when you register, you're registering through the Watershed Institute this year, because they're the ones who do the analysis collected for the NJDEP, distribute the strips, and we're not going through that extra layer of complication with the Isaac Walton League of America. So this will be pretty simple, this year. But on the registration form, it asks which organization are you, or if you're affiliated with an organization. I don't see, I've got an email out to Erin Stretz from the Watershed Institute, but she's very busy. I don't know when she'll get back to me, but I would say try to put two down, Sparta EC and Foodshed Alliance. Okay, because I think that way, and I'm still thinking about this, but I want the Sparta EC to have their own map, of our areas that we can post. But I think it's also important to connect with the Pollenskill watershed
Right.
also.
And isn't the Food Shed Alliance all of Sussex County? Like they could do a lot. Their map could be a lot larger than just Sparta, right?
Well, the map of all of the sites goes all the way from Columbia down at the Delaware River through Knowlton and Blairstown and Hardwick and Frelinghuysen and Frieden and Hampton and Newton. That's the whole entire watershed, and we're one of the major headwaters of the Pollenskill. But the Wallkill actually drains more of Sparta, and then we have the other three watersheds also. So I think that it's important that we're our own group for our own credit for sustainable New Jersey.
That's what we did last year, right? Weren't
Yeah,
we
I
Sparta
think so,
EC?
but also I think it's good to have a coalition, also with the Food Shed Alliance, which is an integral part of our community in terms of the food bank, and plus just funding to get this whole project started for us. So, and I would hate to not have Sparta be included on the Food Shed Alliance sampling map, you know, as, you know, when we are a part of the watershed.
Right.
So,
Did Newton get a lot of people participating last year?
no. No, it had
So-
a couple of people move, and I just want to mention to you how important this project is. When we were at the apex of that drought about a week or so ago, we have 2 stations that provide Stroud Institute Research Center with continuous data and the Nature Conservancy. And I think you remember from last time, I think it was like, it's 260 parts per million. Over that, it's just, you know, starts to be catastrophic for wildlife and pollution. It was almost 1,000 for the college station. There's a station at the college in Newton, and there's a station just a little bit downstream before you get to the Sussex Branch Trail, in between the Sussex Branch Trail and Memory Park, where the sewage treatment plant is. That was like in the 800s, and College Hill was almost 1,000. And that was because of all of the salt that's been accumulated in the soil now, got down into the aquifers, right? And now comes out. If that stream is running and you have a drought, it's coming from the aquifer, and that's the salt that's left over and built up in our aquifers. And if you listen to all of the analysis of that they give every year, the Watershed Institute, every year it gets a little bit worse and worse. So I think,
Does Newton have an environmental commission that we know of?
no, I don't think so, because I visited them. I think they have a land use or planning board, you know, but I
That's it?
don't think they have an environmental commission. Neither does Lafayette Township, neither does Hampton.
I wonder if their
Um,
water company would be interested in working with us. With the Morris Lake collaboration.
Yeah. Well,
Just
yeah,
they-
what was
they
that
could
guy
test
who
it.
came here?
That's what I'm
We
saying.
should go talk to him. I can look up his name. I think I
Because-
wrote it
'cause
down.
you could kind of, you know, under the
Yeah,
label of
I did write
strategic
down his name.
protection of their municipal water source.
Yep. Let's definitely do that. That's a great idea. I don't know what I did. Thought I wrote
It's
down
gotta
his
be in
name.
there. I'm gonna-
Yeah.
I'm not sure where, where their surface water is exposed, where it would be exposed to contamination by the road salt, because they protect that lake so gingerly, but they do have the,
Yeah, but the Glen Road cuts right over the river that runs right in there.
yeah.
So, yeah.
There's not a station already.
I actually tested that water last year. That was one of my sites. Yeah.
So it's great that you're doing that, because, you know, we have our benchmark data that, you know,
Yeah.
from these initial years, and we'll just see,
Yeah.
hopefully won't be any, you know, changes. But, so anyway, I just wanted to suggest that now, the person that I work with on publicity at the Food Shed Alliance made this as an adaptation for Sparta, but we may need to tweak it.
All
So
right, I'll take a look at it
Please,
and let you know. Does anybody else want to look at it before I do that? The advertisement for the salt watch.
Oh, yeah, I've seen it, yeah.
So should we be signing up for the same sites that we monitored last year?
yes, and I wanted to also thank you for reminding me. When we sign up for our sites, decide where we were going to monitor this year also, could we use as descriptions when we submit our data, could we use locations or landmarks? For instance, if it was Sparta High School, you know, maybe a track or close to where the track is, you know, so
Okay.
we can, if somebody were to, let's say you weren't able to water quality monitor for a year, or you were just sick of doing it, okay? And was an important spot that we need to have continuous data for. It should be described in such a way, it's almost like the cross streets, where a person could go there and say, oh, I can see where they got down and they,
Right.
you know, monitored.
Right.
Because plans change and,
Can we register and start already? Because we already missed one storm, right?
oh, yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and the suggestion is that we do 3 storms, and before we do the 3 storms, we do a baseline, a benchmark for the season. So let's
Yeah.
say it's going to be sunny for the next couple of days, so if we had our strips, we would go out and we would get kind of that, baseline, and then we would wait for 3 consecutive storms to come in, and we would monitor before the storm, and then after they've salted,
Okay.
and get our 2 readings.
The stream that I was monitoring last year, it's not flowing right now, or at least it wasn't. After this rain, it might be now, but it was dried up, last week.
Yeah.
So I want to try, see if I can get another site to test too.
Yeah, it's fun. It's kind of fun driving around looking at sites and seeing which areas, surface water areas are the most vulnerable and that need a little more protection. Yeah.
All right. Anything else on Salt Watch? Any other questions for Christine? Okay.
I think I'll let you know if Aaron confirms that we can put down 2, not
Okay.
just Sparta EC.
Okay.
But we can put Sparta EC and Food Shed Alliance.
Yeah, I think once we get this updated, we should send it out to the entire group also, just to remind people to register if they want to do it. And then we'll also post it.
We might put things down there like Sparta, could be Sparta EC or Sparta Green Team Salt Watch. Join the Green Team in Sparta and monitor salt to try to interest more people to join.
Yep.
Yeah, maybe mentioning Green Team.
We can
Yep.
also send it to Kara Johnson at the high school, or middle school, I mean.
Have
and
her
the high
kids
school
go
too.
out.
Okay. All right. Earth Day celebration. We talked about potentially doing an Earth Day fair again. It is a lot of work. Don't want to say it's not a lot of work. So if we are going to do that, we need to kind of, and we're also running out of time again already. January's right around the corner, and Earth Day is April
22nd.
22nd. Okay. So if we do want to do an Earth Day fair of some kind, we do need to get on it. So is someone interested in taking the lead, Christine? Are you?
Yeah.
Yeah,
No,
you
I
are?
would do it,
Okay.
absolutely. And I know that Kara Johnson wants to be part of it
Okay.
again.
All right, perfect.
What's the date?
I'll
on it?
Anybody else?
participate. I'll
Well, we're not-
participate also.
Okay, we're probably not going to do it on the 22nd, right? Because
That's
there
a
was a
Tuesday,
reason we
yeah.
talked about it.
And then Easter Sunday.
And the-
Yeah, so we
Yes,
did, last time we did a Saturday, but now, so Easter is on April 20th. The school break is the 18th through the 27th.
Yeah.
And then Passover is April 12th at sundown it starts, and it's set until April 20th. And then the other thing we need to be mindful of is that Kane University event that we talked about.
Right.
What was the date of that?
Don't remember now.
We should just double check
Oh,
that we're
that-
not double,
Shouldn't
because
do the
that,
same day.
that was a Saturday also.
Yes.
So it's basically, I
wow.
wrote down what the Saturdays are. It's April 5th, April 12th, April 19th, April 26th, or then we go into May 3rd. I mean, if we're eliminating the times that they're on break for school, that takes out the 19th and the 26th.
Yeah.
I wanted to say that their event might have been the 12th that we talked about last time. I don't know if anyone had it written down.
I think they sent me an email wanting to know if we would re-register for
Yeah, so if
something.
you can find
Yeah.
that, we can confirm, but I don't know if we want to go early in the month and do like April 5th, or we want to just do it around Earth Day, and if people are away, then they don't come. I don't know.
I think if we don't have children, even in town, I don't think you're going to get that many people at all.
No, I'm just saying, right.
I don't think we should do it while the spring breaks.
Okay.
Yeah.
So then that eliminates the 19th and the 26th.
Yeah.
So it has to be,
So it's either the 12th
Early.
if their event isn't on the 12th, or it's April 5th, or you push it back and it's the first week of May.
Is Sunday not an option at all? Because you could also do
It could
Sunday,
be.
the 13th.
That's a Palm Sunday too.
Oh, it's Palm Sunday. No, I don't think so.
Are you thinking of doing out here again?
I don't know.
Oh, okay.
Last time we talked about potentially moving it to the middle school, because then if it was raining or really bad weather, we could just pop right into the gym.
Could do that.
That requires going to the Board of Ed to ask them permission. And if they make us pay, it's an outrageous amount of money. I've tried to rent the facilities before.
If Kara Johnson was the one to ask, would they still?
Probably make a difference. Yeah, if it's a school function, then you don't have to pay.
Right.
So that would then also dictate what potential days, because they have robotics competitions and basketball competitions and stuff like that too.
would
We
get,
have a very long list of folks to invite also.
Yep.
And then there were folks last time who we couldn't even, who heard about it like too close to the actual day, and so couldn't quite get organized to come that day, that were interested. So we have a very long list of interested parties. And then were you thinking you want to have a food truck of some kind too?
We could.
And do you want music again? Because I can talk to those people too.
Yeah, we had some,
I'm open to whatever. I'm not gonna
I had reached out.
dictate what we have to have. I mean, it worked out, I think, really well for our first time doing it last time. And it's 10 points for a sustainable jersey to run it. And then you can get another 5 points if we like make it green, and really try to promote sustainability at the event on our flyers, on the type, like I wrote down
Well, they should certainly bring plastic. bags.
down some notes of like what that looks like, but you have to put a sustainability statement on your flyer. They said the fair location should be accessible by walking, biking, public transportation. We should have recycle bins. We should do electronic communication rather than paper. And then you have to do like one practice in each of the categories for energy, waste, and local economy. So there were different stipulations, but it didn't sound like that was unreasonable. So I think we can get 15 points for hosting it. So I feel like it's worth it.
Okay.
I had tried to get vegan food vendors
Yeah.
last year. But there were several, like Andres he would have been happy to do it, but it was too late when you know, we finally got it established. And also the Greek Kitchen, which is Kalo Farms.
Yep. And
He
they have a
would have
food
been
truck
able.
now.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
if we can get decide on a date,
Soon, right?
Soon,
Yeah.
then I can reach out to them if you want.
So is the middle school the preferred option? Like, do you want me to speak to
Yeah.
Kara and then
I
just
think
see?
so. Because it's really good to have an indoor option.
Hmm.
Because the turkey, just from having run the turkey trot this year,
Oh.
poured rain.
Yeah.
Not that you can run inside.
I missed
but
it, sorry.
No problem. I was soaked.
Do we want to try to have it on a weekend in April though? Like that early part of April,
I think so.
rather than going into May, right? We want to have it so that it's kind of near Earth Day.
I would think so.
Okay.
Also, if I can add, I do work for Cala Farms. Like I've worked in their food truck before,
Oh, you did?
so I can reach out to them if you need me to.
awesome. Yeah, they're my neighbor too, so
Oh,
we
okay.
have lots of contacts with them.
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
That'd be great, John, if you want to do that.
So before I reach out to Kara, Kim, can you just confirm when that university event is?
It's the 12th.
It's the
I
12th.
just
Okay.
looked at the
So
email.
I feel like we shouldn't do it competing with them because it's gonna.
So I think the options are the 5th, the 6th,
Mhm.
or May 3rd, 4th.
It might be still like a little colder at the beginning of the month, so
Yeah.
maybe in May. Because that brings more people when it's nicer outside.
Nicer, yep.
Could we have as a backup perhaps, Station Park Pavilion? I mean, that provides a
Back up to
base.
being inside.
Yeah, I
the
mean,
middle
here
school?
we didn't come inside, we had it out on the lawn. But if we couldn't get the middle school for some reason,
Yeah, we'll have to
you know,
think
that would
about
be a
that.
nice venue because you could have room for the food trucks. People could bike there, you know, it'd be
Yeah.
more, it would be better than this venue, I think.
I agree.
Yeah, and I think that they would give it to us for no cost, possibly, because they did that when I did my Sparta teacher training.
Yeah.
There.
Yep. We'll have, if the school's not an option, if Kara Johnson doesn't want to, or the Board of Ed doesn't want to do it, then we'll have to think of where else is good. Yeah. We were lucky that day was just nice. It was
Yeah.
a nice
Yeah.
day.
Yeah, it was
Yeah,
just
and
a little
April
windy.
ends up being rainy too, a lot.
Yeah.
Like, once you get into, so
Remember, it
do,
did
do you think
rain
May,
that
so
afternoon.
am I asking her about May 4th, 3rd or 4th as the first option, as the weekend? And if
I
not,
think
then we're
so.
going all the way a month earlier. Okay. All right. I'll see what I can find out.
Okay, awesome. And I'll share with you all the spreadsheets we had of the contact names and everything from last time. I'm gonna skip the next item since Dan's not here. He was primarily the person working on the groundwater utility item. The next one was the free technical assistant for climate. It's not client, sorry, that's my bad. It's supposed to be climate vulnerability assessment. Somebody brought this up, and I don't remember who. Was that you, Neil, that brought this up last time?
Yes, that's what we were just talking about.
Oh, it's the
this
same
is
thing.
Yes.
Ah, okay,
So,
okay,
so this is part of our master plan reexamination.
Okay.
The climate change hazard vulnerability assessment is an element that we have to complete for it's an element of the master plan. And Sustainable Jersey offers this free technical assistance.
got it.
That
Okay.
we had to apply for it. We have to apply for it by December 20th, I think.
Okay.
And Dean introduced it requires a council resolution. So
Okay,
Dean introduced the resolution at the last council meeting, and it was passed by a vote of 3-2.
okay, perfect. So that's moving forward.
Yes.
Wonderful. Okay, any other, that's it for the unfinished business. Any new business that we didn't talk about yet?
If nobody else has anything, I do.
Yeah, go ahead.
The 2025 PSE&G grant cycle from Sustainable Jersey is underway. The application deadline is February 14th. Again, those are the grants that in the $20,000, $10,000, and $2,000 amount. We had a grant for the Green Business Recognition Program that couldn't get off the ground. So I reached out to Caitlin Volmer today, but I didn't get a response back whether we can use that grant, that $2,000 grant, which was from 2023, for something else. And I thought that the Trails project could definitely use this, and it could use more money too. So I think if we can apply for another grant by February.
Does the Trails Committee need help doing that, or we need to have the Environmental Commission supporting it in some way?
I think I forget how we did it last year.
Okay.
Somebody filled out the application.
Well, I
but-
filled it out last year to
Yeah,
get it.
that's right, yeah, you did.
So, but I don't know if the Trails Committee can just independently go and do that.
I don't know.
Okay.
Try to find
So the
out.
Trails Committee meeting is on the 13th?
Yeah.
Okay. I'll try to go to that too.
Yeah, I tried to go to the last one.
Probably couldn't find us.
I
We were,
couldn't where
we,
were
we couldn't meet here because there was a meeting scheduled, so at the last minute, at like 5 o'clock, an email went out saying, meet in the library, room 1.
Oh, so that's why I missed
Sorry.
it. I was gonna go.
Yeah.
That's okay. No, I'm not on the chain or anything. I had just been talking to,
Check it out. Yeah, it's very enthusiastic group.
what's a quorum though? Would we have to,
Well,
For-
it's not a statutory board, so I don't know that they need to follow the sunshine laws, do they? No.
but I mean, if there were a
Oh,
quorum
too many of us.
Of us.
Oh, that's true. You guys just go and tell me what they need for the grant. I don't need another meeting on my calendar.
Oh, okay.
But are we actually an official, we're an official,
We're a statutory board, but we're advisory
we are a
to the
statute,
The
Yeah.
trails we talked.
Environmental
but the
Commission.
trail
The subcommittee.
committee is a subcommittee, so that falls under the statutory board? Or,
It's not a subcommittee of the Environmental Commission.
It's not? Oh, no.
No.
so where does it
That's right.
belong in the hierarchy?
I'd have to say, if there's something, who's the chair? Is Landon the chairman of it?
Yes.
He'd have to keep a communication with the clerk. I mean, we could put, if there's planned meetings, like if it's the first Monday of every month or something like that, and it's at the library or something, there is a place to put these other committees on there. But because there's really no secretary assigned to it, it would be up to the chairperson to ask, the manager and the clerk if they could put it on the website somewhere that there's a trails, and somebody could type in trails, it'll go right to the calendar and say when the meetings are. So if there's scheduled meetings, they're kind
Are.
of tough, some of these other ones. But they know when the recreation board is, library board.
Right. And
Um,
like the film, what are the film readiness
There's a film,
committee?
yep, film readiness, which I think they're
I've
correcting
seen-
something in the future on that
Yeah.
one.
I've seen that they've posted their meetings when they were happening.
Yeah, so. But there was a trails committee, I think something went through the council saying that there is, correct?
Yeah, but I don't think it was a subcommittee of the Environmental
No, it's not.
Commission. Yeah,
No, I don't
no,
think so.
it's a
Not that I'm
subcommittee
aware
of the township. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a township.
Yeah.
Second.
So, okay, so it doesn't fall under the Recreation Commission?
Have to see how it
Committee.
was set up.
It doesn't fall under the Environmental Commission, it's its own,
Yeah. I'm gonna check to see how that was set up.
how we fall in, that would be really,
Yeah.
useful, I think, yeah.
I mean, I'm happy to help with the grant writing. It's pretty easy. It's not that hard. But yeah, technically it doesn't fall under the Environmental Commission. I don't know who it falls under.
We are taking notes. We do have somebody who's volunteered to be a secretary, and she, takes notes.
Oh, great.
So I don't know whether those should be posted also for public information, or maybe not.
You'd have to just make sure that you can have your own page, the trails chairperson should write and have a have a page dedicated, kind of like the Rev New Jersey, Rev 250. You have the other one that Dan, the Sister Cities. So there's actual pages that were created, and then on there it gives the information. So Trails Committee just would have to go, get the permission to get it put on the website. And then
Well, it's something
somebody
to
would have
talk
to
about.
filter to get things posted and stuff like that.
Okay.
What was the date? January 13th for the next meeting?
That's what
Yes,
you said, yeah.
13th at 7.
Any other new business items? Okay.
Oh,
All right. Do I have a motion to adjourn?
I'll motion to adjourn.
Do I have a second? Rob, second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Meeting adjourned at 8:01. Exactly 60 minutes.